Welcome. Thank you. Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist here today. Oh, what happened there? Something happened. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Yep, you've definitely got me. Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist here today to talk about top tips to being thankful for rejection. Ugh. And I guarantee you probably went, there are, and you can't be thankful for rejection. You just can't be. You just can't be. Well, I'm actually going to show you you can and tell you, and you're clearly going to take some great notes here. So thank you for joining me. If you are here watching a replay or if you're here watching live, I would love to know. That would be fabulous. So I'll just crack on because I'd love you to grab your pen, paper, note-taking device, whatever it is that you're going to do, or listen to it and then go back and go through these, because there are some goodies in here that you're going to go, I know that. Oh, that makes sense. But the key is actually to action the points that I'm going to give you, because otherwise it's just lip service for me. And, you know, we all know I love my own voice. So let's get into it, because when I think about rejection, it is so painful. Past experiences, we've all got those, but it can be a real kick. I'm just going to make sure I can move this around here. Yeah, there, I can see it. I had something blocked. You know, it's a real kick, and it can upset your day. Well, actually, it can upset your week, your month, your year. It can take you a long time to get over sometimes, because I guarantee when I say rejection, you will automatically go back to something way back in the day that happened. You know, if I said, oh, did a partner ever reject you when you were at school? I remember that. Did you ever put your hand up and they took somebody else? Oh, I remember that. Did you have we used to have a game called Bull Rush. Actually, I don't know if it's allowed anymore. It's a pretty brutal game. Where you just run from one side of the field to the other and they just tackle you if you're in the middle. And they choose people to be on part of your team sometimes. So any of those, did you get rejected to those? And then you're like, and that's why I can't play sport, and that's why I was always picked last. And, you know, we've got all this little lip service stories going on in our mind. So it happens. We've got those stories. But let me show you how you can be thankful for those past stories and for any that move forward. And also how you can help other people. Because we do hold on to a lot of stuff. We clearly do. We hold on to a lot of stuff and then it just explodes around us and all hell breaks loose, as I say that. So when I think about rejection, I think about definitely the ones I've had, and they have been relationships, definitely. Even just when someone goes to hold your hand, you're like, no. Or someone goes to kiss you, or someone even just asks you out on a date, or, you know, whether it's an intimate relationship or not, there's totally that. When you give someone advice and they don't take it, and you're like, oh God, and 2 years later they're still in the same situation, like, why did I make myself not clear enough to them? So that's actually a big one as well. Advice. When you're invited to a situation and it doesn't happen, you give someone an idea, there's jobs, there's lots and lots and lots of ways of being rejected. If you haven't ever been rejected in your life, I would love you to, you know, let us know in the comments. No, it hasn't happened, because it's clearly a load of BS that you've got within you. I talked earlier about our stories, and we can actually, our stories can build us or destroy us totally, but we have those stories repeated in our head that go over, and maybe you didn't get picked for your sports game when you were 6 years old, and you've held on to that story, and each time you've said that story, it's got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yes, we've got that. And often some other people actually tell their story and you're like, oh, mine's better than theirs, I'm going to add mine in, and you're feeding into their story just as much as you're feeding into your own. So be aware of those stories. That's like a really great one. It's just go, oh, there's a story. Now, you don't have to agree with their story. You don't have to agree with your own story. You can say, yes, back then it was a story. All I'm just saying is just agree, oh, there's a story. Label it a story, and that's it. Move on. I know when I think about this, when I talk about rejection, people go, oh, don't worry about that job, Deborah. It's okay. You didn't need that job. You know, there's another door coming around the corner and it's going to be so much better for you. Yeah. I don't want to hear that sometimes. But know there is a door that is actually going to be, that one door shuts and another one's going to open. We all know that. I often think it'd be so nice to have a glass door so I could see what it is and how long it's going to take to get there. Now, one of my favorite things, as I'm sure I've talked about it many, many, many times, is the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements. We got that? The 4 agreements. I think you can see that clearly. Yeah. The 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, which is pretty simple. And it's basically meaning be impeccable with your word. Don't tell stories. Don't spread rumors. You know, just if you're better to be impeccable with your word and stay above the line. Make sure the words you're using about others and yourself are fulfilling and more glitter than glue. So be impeccable with your word. The next one of these is don't take anything personally. And I find people usually say this is the hardest one. Don't take anything personally, because you don't know what's going on with them. They don't know what's going on with you. So when people say, no, you can't come to this, or no, okay, you can't take it personally. You can go into all these, oh, it's probably because I did this, or probably because I did this, and you can go into that. But the truth is you're never actually going to get to an end result on that. So don't take it personally. Accept that rejection, or what do you want to call it. Accept that and move on. That's it. The other one is don't make assumptions. And assumptions are, what are they? Assume is making an ass of you and me. I love that. I didn't even know that. Thank you, Sandra, for that. So don't make assumptions. And that's the same thing about taking things personally. You don't know what's going on their end, let alone what's going on your end. So don't make assumptions about the situation, about the people involved, about the time frame, any of those things. Don't make assumptions. The last one of the 4 agreements is, and I think this is probably my best one that I love, is always do your best. Always do your best in what you say, in what you do, the energy you give out. Always do your best. So if you're struggling to sleep at night, there's clearly something going on that's tick, 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 ticking. So just make sure when you go to sleep at night, you've actually done right. Have I done my best? Have I done my best? I would definitely bring my daughter up differently if I had her at her age, my age now. Well, that'd be a concern, having her at my age. She's 22. I'd bring her up differently. There's different decisions I would make about certain clients who I brought into the business. There's different decisions I'd make about staff. There's different decisions about conversations I've had with family or other people. Always do your best and feed from the heart. You're feeding people from the heart, not from the head. So always do your best. That's my little favorite one. And I actually picked up one of these cards, because these are actually his cards, and I picked this card up before I got in here. And this goes back to the first one, is be impeccable with your word. And it says, let go of self-judgment and blame. Okay. Being impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself for anything. And I thought that's actually a really great one, especially today as we're talking about how to be thankful for rejection. It's a great one. Do not judge or blame yourself for anything. That's it. And then move on. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You don't have to get on that hamster wheel. You don't have to go round and round and round and round and round until you realize you're actually not even getting on at all. The next tip. The next tip starts with the letter T. Do we know what that one is? Trust. Trust, trust, trust. Trust yourself. Don't get into desperation mode, because desperation mode is actually a really ugly place to be. So just trust that you're making the best decision, that you're impeccable with your words, any of these things. Just trust that you're doing the right thing. And the other one is not just yourself, but trust that the bigger picture is going on and it's got your back. Now, you can call it the universe, you can call it God, you can call it whatever you want. Excuse me. But the key is to trust that the bigger picture is going on around you, and there's something bigger going on, but it's actually going to look after you. Trust is a massive one for yourself, for others, and the bigger picture. So just trust that you're doing right. Trust that you're doing right. And trust that the bigger picture's got your back. That's quite big on its own. The other one, the other tip is, do you really want to do it? Do you really want to do it? And with this, you know how I talked about the bigger picture before, the universe, bigger picture, God, whatever you want to call it. It always is always on your side. And there is something bigger going on. You may not know it. You may not know it. You may not know it. There's always something going on behind you. And it may have heard you because you go, oh, I don't really want to go out tonight. Don't really want to go out tonight. And then you don't get invited. Excuse me, thinking you're like, this is not cool. This is not cool. I don't get invited to this. And your mind literally overthinks. But you actually forget to go back to you. You're the one that initially said, oh, I don't know if I really want to go out tonight. And you didn't get invited. So is that a rejection, or is that you actually going, I don't want to go out tonight, and the bigger picture's looking after you? So just be aware of that. Did you really want to do it? The other one is, the other tip is change your wording. And when I say change your wording, if I was to say, what emotional reaction do you have in your body if I say rejection? What emotional reaction do you have in your body if we say rejection? Because for me, it makes me go, ugh. And I do have that sting, that ouch, whatever it is. But it is just a word. So change that wording. If you've got a sting to that wording, rejection, change it. Oh, I'm not invited. Not invited actually sounds, to me, sounds so much better than rejection. It has to be whatever works for you. Oh, I've changed their mind. That's it. Oh, they forgot about me. Like, that's, to me, those little, I don't know if I said you 2 or 3 or how many I said, but they just seemed a little bit better than rejection. A little bit better than rejection. So change the wording. Change the wording because it's just a word. Now, thankful. And I'm talking about thankful, being thankful for the direction, but thankful. Fill your heart with inspiration rather than deflation. So you're going to do 2 things on this one here. And I'm going to get you to write it down. Clearly, writing it down has a different shift in here to in your physical reaction. So you're going to ask yourself, how did this serve me by not doing ... Now, do you see how I actually didn't say rejected, how I was rejected? How did this serve me by not going out for dinner? How did this serve me by not getting that job interview? How did this serve me by ... by not doing whatever it is? See, I didn't say the word rejection because it's just a label, it's just a word. So when you're going to write down how did it actually serve you from not going out, from not doing this, for not being invited, whatever it is. And you're going to write down, how did it serve me? Actually, it allowed me to stay at home. Actually, it meant I didn't have to put makeup on. Actually, it meant I didn't have to put a bra on. It meant I could save some money. It meant that I didn't want to talk to half the people that were there and there's only one person, so I can actually connect with that person separately at another event. So how did it serve me by not doing ... Then there's another side swipe to this one. How did it serve others? And we often don't think about others, but how did it serve others that you did not go along? Well, you might be known as a stirrer, or you might be known as a confrontation person, or you might be known as whatever. So it meant they could have a conversation about things and not have to be confronted or whatever it is. So how did it serve others that you didn't go along, or by not doing that? And like I said, the key is to write this down, because when you write it down, there's a shift in your brain pattern to your body. I use my notes a lot, and then I'll make sure I go to my office and I'll write them down in a little book. I've got lots of little books that I write into. So writing down just makes it so much more fulfilling, and you become more thankful in your heart. So if you want to write them into your notes or wherever, and then write them, when you start reading them, say them aloud. There's going to be 100%, there's going to be a shift within you. Now, I know I talked a little bit just before about trust. I'm just going to reiterate that one again. Trust. Trust the bigger picture. Trust yourself. Trust others are doing right by you. Trust, trust, trust. That's it. That's all you got to do. The next time I'm going to talk about is human. Humankind. Thanks, Sam, for that. Humankind, because you are human. You are human on this earth. Well, I'd like to think you are having a human experience, and you're going to have human emotions. So if you weren't invited, cry. If it upsets you, cry. Don't try and hold them in. Cry. Tissues are great. Cry all you want. Whatever, do whatever it is. But when you're ready, you want to shake this off and get moving. And the other thing is, ensure to make sure that you're not crying for 7 days in a row, 24/7. That's not going to work. It's definitely. So let's pull those emotions back in. So Know that you're human. Know that you're going to have human emotions. So ride that. Oh, okay, now I'm feeling really happy about this. Now I feel really sad. Now I actually want to cry. Oh, now I just actually want to eat potato chips and lie on the couch. Whatever it is, just know you're here having a human experience of emotions. But make sure you stay above the line. Okay? If you're feeling like you're peeved off or anything like that, just watch yourself, stay above that line. I love that. Stay above the line, stay above the line, stay above the line. Now, I know I put trust in earlier and I put trust in again. I'm just, again, going to go back to the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. If you can even just live by one of these today, there's going to be a massive shift in your world. A massive shift. And I'm going to talk about gratitude again. The key is to celebrate. And when I say gratitude, celebrate. Excuse me. You've been rejected. You've been not invited to. You've been turned down. You've been whatever you want to label it. Whatever it is. You've actually got something to work on. Don't let this mind take control of you. It's wiser to work on your inner self and get amazing results, because trust me, the more you work on yourself, the greater fulfillment you will have in life, and you're going to be way more inspired, and the complications that come your way are really going to be so minute, they're not even going to make a dent in your day. So celebrate. You got something to be grateful for. Write it down. Write a gratitude journal. Write a gratitude journal. Today I was thankful for not getting the job. Write it down. It makes such a massive difference. So have gratitude that you've got something to work on, and ensure that you write it down and work through that. Recently I had dinner with somebody, some of my old crew, when I was down south, and my head was so full and I was like, who am I inviting? Who am I inviting? And I forgot to invite some people. Could it be seen as rejection? Yes. Did I tell people I was in town? No, not everyone. The truth is, yes, I didn't invite them. Yes, I didn't. And my head was so full, it was purely focused on something else. And I invited a few people that came to mind. I didn't find the others, but there's going to be that, oh, she was down and she didn't invite me out for dinner and now I'm upset. So if you're one of those people, because I know somebody's going to be watching this and they are one of those people and you know who you are, you're welcome to pick up the phone and call me. Now, I'm not going to apologize I didn't invite you. I'm not going to apologize for anything that I did. My head was full. I remembered a few people who I've been in communication with, and I asked them if they wanted to come and have dinner with me. That's all it is. It's don't take anything personally. And this, by the way, this video topic was created a few weeks ago before I actually went out and forgot to invite some people for dinner. But coincides with that. So that's Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist, on my top tips to being thankful for rejection. I would love to know what your favorite one was, whether you enjoyed this, if you didn't enjoy this, and if you'd like anything in particular to me to talk about next week or the week after, drop that in the comments or private message me. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, and have a fabulous day. See ya.